What's up, YouTube? It's Taryn from Team 937 here, coming at you with a Kozmo metalfoe deck profile. I've been working on this deck for the past month and a half, and it just keeps every time I take it to locals, at our locals treasures, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. At one point, the first time I ever went to sudden death was with this deck because the guy just couldn't get over my big stuff, and he kept putting stuff in defense, and I couldn't hurt him. And it was annoying. Anyway, first up, we got these three ofs. You got metalfoe Volflame. Volflame is a really good card because he's a scale 8. I love scale 8s, and he's level 7. He leads into your shit like Big Eye. That's actually the only rank 7 I play. Anyway, he's really good. And then you've got Gold Driver. The only 3 of scales are 3 Gold Driver, 3 Volflame. Because the other 2 are, yeah, right, 2. That's actually, speak of the devils. 2 silvered, 2 stealing. I like to only play 2 of them. Those are all for the metalfoe monsters. I don't play the level 1. I do not play Bismugear because he's not searchable by painful decision, and you can't pendulum summon him. He's just not very good, in my opinion. So anyway, yeah, that's the mofos. Now on to the Kozmo. My ratios, I played 2 of every pilot except for the level 4s and the level 5. I only play 1 level 5, no level 4s. So, I've got 2 tin cans. Tin cans, your searcher. On end phase, you can reveal 3 ships, ship spell, anything to do with Kozmo. You've got Strawman. Strawman is really good because let's say you've got a Slip Rider on board and you've got a Slip Rider banished and you really, really need to make Infinity. You can summon him, activate his effect, just summon Slip Rider from the banish pile, overlay it, make Nova, and make Infinity. Then you've got Sword Trooper. He's good for getting Farm Girl back from the graveyard, so you can make your Farm Girl plays. You've got Farm Girl. We all know what Farm Girl does. Farm Girl's a bitch. A bitch to deal with, not a bitch to use. But then my final pilot, Dark Lady. Oh, you want to activate a monster? I don't think so. Yeah. Those are pilots. Then you've got only 3 of ship, Slip Rider. Because back row hatred, and you make Nova with it. And you use Nova to make Infinity. You've got 2 Forerunner, only 2. Well, he helps make Big Eye. And if you destroy him, you can bring out Slip Rider. So yeah, you use a metalfoe scale to pop him and Slip Rider's on board. If you want to do that because he can't be targeted. He's the one that starts where they can't be targeted. The next one that everybody loves to hate on, Kozmo Dark Destroyer. He's at 1. Even with the ban list, it just dropped yesterday, which I was hoping he would come to 2, but he didn't, and I'm not going to complain because, well, at 2 he could be a little bit of a problem. Because his effect when he's summoned is not a once per turn, so you summon 2 of him, that's 2 monsters that go off my field. Yeah, bit of an asshole. 1 of Kozmo Dark Eclipser. It's alright. It's not a ship that I really like to see in my hand. I like to search it with Tin Can. Unless my opponent has 3,000 life points and a shit ton of traps. And I have a shit ton of Cosmos in the graveyard. Then I'll summon him. Because, well, for every Cosmo in the graveyard, you can tell him no on a trap. Yeah. And then the final Cosmo card, or Cosmo monster. Dark Planet. Dark Planet, just 4K, 4K. He's not that hard to summon. People might tell me, oh, that's bullshit. No, he's not hard to summon. Doesn't have to exactly be 10. It has to be 10 or more. So if you've got a Straw Man and an Eclipser in your hand along with this, banish both of those. I know that's 11, but it's 10 or more. He says no to spells. And then a personal choice of mine, because I call it my Breaksword engine, because I play Phantom Knight's a Breaksword. He helps to bring him out real fast. He just came out in the special editions. Bobaboon. So you've got one of him on board, you get his effect, you destroy him, you get 2 more, you get both of their effects. Yeah, he's a little busted. He's a little busted in metalfoe. That's all for monsters. I don't know how many monsters, but this deck overall is 43. Got one of in a spell. Emergency teleport. Not only does it search all the pilots, summon all the pilots except the level 4s, which is why I don't play the level 4s, it also brings out Steel and Silvered. Because they're psychics. The metalfoes are psychics, not machines like you'd think they would be. And then you play 2. Painful Decision. Searches out your Silvered, your Steel, and your Gold Driver. Because they're level 4 or below normal monsters. They only have effects when they're in scale. So they're searchable with Painful Decision. Helps make scales really fast. And you've got Metalfoe's Fusion. I was playing full fusion for a while, but I realized I never used it. And I never liked to use it because it's a quick play and you can't activate it as soon as you set it with a scale. So I use this. This is my combo I'll tell you about. Well, I'll tell you about it now. It's a combo using Bobaboon and Breaksword. You summon Bobaboon, get Bobaboon effect, put a metalfoe in scale, use the scale to pop Bobaboon, set this, get Bobaboon effect to summon 2 more, get their effects off, make Breaksword by overlaying the Bobaboons, use Breaksword to pop this, which would be set, and a card your opponent controls, and you get this effect in the graveyard. It's draw until you get what you need in your hand. So yeah, Metalfoe's Fusion. Really good. Then there's 3 of a spell, the only 3 of, the only Kozmo spell. Cosmotown. You gotta play the Cosmotown. Now, I know my rarities are different because it's 2 rares and a super, but most people forget this thing has 3 effects. One of to add a banished Cosmo monster, but you pay 100 for every level. You can reveal as many Cosmo monsters in your hand as you want, shuffle them back, draw the same amount, and if it's destroyed, add any Cosmo card from your deck to your hand. Even the trap. Now, I only play 4 traps. Play 2 metalfoe traps, counter and combo. Now, I don't really use combo. It's in there as like a last ditch effort. Like I need to use a scale effect and I can set it. And if my opponent's main phase and I know they're going to fusion summon, I'll flip it. Or just because I can, I'll flip it. And then counter, you destroy something of mine, I get to summon a metalfoe. Yeah, it's a little busted. Now the only Cosmo trap, Cosmo Joe. Cosmo Joe, it's come in clutch a few times. Like my opponent's got a big ass monster on the board, and I can't run it over, and I've got, say, 4-runner on board and a Slip Rider. When they try to do something with that monster, or they summon the monster anyway, I can flip Cosmo Joe, target my 4-runner, to non-target banish their big ass monster. Doesn't destroy it, and it doesn't target them. It only targets your Cosmo monster, and that's the cost. The cost is to target the Cosmo monster. So if they negate this, your Cosmo monster does not get destroyed. It gets targeted. That's it. That's all for main deck. So like I said, it's a 43 card main deck. Now, onto my extra deck. I only play 14 cards, and a bunch of them are fusions. Let's get this one out of the way. Barbaroid. Strike my Nova. My opponent makes a mistake of striking my Nova. I've now got a 4K board presence, and they're going to have to try like hell to run over this motherfucker. Now on to the metalfoes. I've got 1 Orichalc. Orichalc he's good against DDs because they like to 1-for-1 their Kepler. And they leave Kepler there in defense position, and you can just run it over with Orichalc, dealing double piercing damage, which would be 5,600. It hurts a lot. And then I only play 2 Mithrilium. Mithrilium's really good. drawback, she has a little 6-letter word that no duelist likes to hear. Target. She puts it back in her hand by putting 2 metalfoe cards from my graveyard back into my deck. Now, if only I have Fusion and one other, I won't use her effect. I like to use Fusion's effect first. No one Adamante, just Adamante. I don't know why, but a friend of mine told me to write him, so I thought I'd humor him. I've summoned him a few times. Alcahest. Alcahest just says, fuck your monster, it's mine now. Like, you summon out Alcahest in a defense position, and your opponent, let's say they summon a Barbaroid. When they summon that Barbaroid, attach it to it. He's now got 4,000 defense points. Not even Crystal Wing can run him over with 4,000 defense points because he's a level 1. Even if he's in defense points, it's not like they're going to be doing much damage anyway. So yeah, it's all for fusions. No synchros, sadly. Every deck seems like I've ever made out of synchro or something in it. Anyway, a lot of the XZs, all my numbers, I'm at 61. Volcasaurus, I've made him maybe twice, and that's like my opponent's got Fairy Tale Snow. I think Snow has like 800, or no. Okay, I'm playing Blue Eyes, and my opponent's got a Blue Eyes White Dragon on board. I can just use him, pop him, hit it for 3k. Now, he can't attack directly, but if they've got a Sage on board, just attack the Sage. It's like hitting him directly. Yeah. Number 45, Crumble Locos. If you can effectively bait out a Crystal Wing, use to its effective to negate something, and then summon him, you can detach, target that Crystal Wing, and its effects are negated until he is either flipped face down or he's taken off the board. And then if another Crystal Wing is summoned, well, you're shit out of luck because that Crystal Wing can't even activate its effects. Yeah. Final number. I've mentioned him a few times in the video already. Number 11. Because who doesn't like to steal monsters? Stealing monsters is fun. Especially if they're permanently. And then this whole thing is an engine, so I'm going to show them at the same time. We got Cyber Dragon Infinity and a Cyber Dragon Nova. Well, Infinity, as Nick always says, don't give a fuck. You activate? No. You can't activate anything. Or, well, once per turn. It can detach to negate something, but other than that, yeah. Infinity's not very friendly. Now, on to my personal choices. I've got 2. One's a rank 5, and one is a rank 3. Rank 5, I make Artifact Durandal. Like, if my opponent's got a really troublesome spell card over there face up, and I activate a metalfoe trying to pop him, well, I could use his ability to make that metalfoe now MST. Or Archfiend Eccentric, if you want to put it that way. Because it lets them pop that, and then if my opponent's got 5 cards in hand, I've got only 1. Or I've got 1 and my opponent's got 5. I can detach, I shuffle all 5 in my back, draw 5, he shuffles 1, draw 1. Yeah, he's a reload on steroids. That's what I would say. Now the final one, literally my favorite Xyz monster as of to date, and I'm kind of surprised he didn't hit on yesterday's ban list. Phantom Knight's a Breaksword. I was talking to a friend of mine, I asked him for advice as for like a good rank 3. He sent me an entire list of Breaksword was on the list. I asked him, why Breaksword? His response was literally the best thing ever, and it's why I play Breaksword. His response was, pop, pop, motherfucker. He just popped my fusion, pop your card out, I got fusion effect in graveyard, and whoop, eat 2k. Yeah. Anyway, that's my Kozmo metalfoe deck profile. If y'all have got any comments, leave them down in the comments section below. As always, like and subscribe to Team 937. Terrence, signing out.